Good afternoon. How are you?
Good afternoon. I'm doing fine, thanks.
Thank you. May I see your ID card, please?
Yes, this is my ID.
That's fine. Thank you. Let's talk about travelling and transport. What kind of transport do you use regularly?
I usually use the motorbike to go to work and to go traveling.
Why?
For me, motorbike is the most popular vehicles in Vietnam right now, and it is quite convenient for me because, with the small road and very crowded, I can drive, very quickly and easily for my job because sometimes, I don't have a lot of time.
Thank you. Now, I'm going to give you a topic, and I'd like you to talk about it for 1 to 2 minutes. Before you talk, you'll have 1 minute to think about what you're going to say. You can make some notes if you wish. Do you understand? Here's some paper and a pencil for making notes.
Thank you.
And here's your topic. I'd like you to describe someone you know or somebody famous who's achieved great success.
Yeah, thank you. So now is my 1 minute to prepare.
All right. Could you please start speaking now?
Okay. Now I will talk about the one that I admire with his success. He is a singer, a music composer in rock music. His name is Trần Lập, and I think many people in Vietnam know him. He is famous and successful because of his passionate and great love for rock, and he composed a lot of Vietnamese rock songs. At that time, we don't have a lot of Vietnamese rock songs. We just sing the English rock songs. So I think it was the interesting thing. And nowadays, many people know and sing his rock songs. He inspired people for the love with rock and singing. And he inspired people for the love of being very nice in our life because he has a great love for composing the music, for living because he has the disease, he has a cancer, but he's still enthusiastic with the songs, with the shows, with the audience. He was very weak at that time. However, he still want to have a big shows, live shows for the people, for rock fans. So I think people admire him and love him too much.
We've been talking about somebody famous or someone you know who's achieved great success. And now I'd like to go on and talk about this topic in general. Let's think about winning and losing. Which do you think is more important when we play sport, to win or to take part?
For me, whenever I take part in any games, winning is more important. Because I think when we play, we need to show ourselves. And when we win, we can inspire ourselves and inspire other people who love us. And if I am play on behalf of my university, my organization, or my country, winning is very important as well because I can inspire a lot of people in my country, in my university or organization.
Thank you very much. That is the end of the speaking test today.
Thank you.
All right, what did you think about that performance?
Yeah, fantastic. What a great energy Anzui has just in sort of communicating with others, and what a great tribute to Trần Lập as well to choose him as the famous person he admires.
Are you familiar with Chun-Lip?
Not really, but after this I'm going to go get online and listen to a bit of his music. I was quite moved by what Anzui had to say.
Yeah, absolutely. He's actually, Chun-Lip is one of the front runners of rock music in Vietnam. He had cancer, and unfortunately, so a lot of people mourned for him, and a lot of people idolized him because he was really the person that set up the rock music scene right here in Vietnam. So yeah, it's a great person to talk about at this
Sure,
point.
and how fantastic that despite sort of the sorrow of his loss, he's left a great body of music for sort of another generation to get stuck into.
Yeah.
We all need a bit of rock and roll
Yes.
in our lives.
Rock and
Yeah.
roll. So
Okay.
how did Anzui rock and roll this
How did
time?
Anzui rock and roll this time? Yeah, again, like I said, just that confidence, and he's obviously got a great vocabulary that he can draw on there as well, was really impressive. He also did some nice things with what we call emphatic stress. So he was talking about transport, and he said it's very crowded, and that kind of emphasis where I put more energy into a certain word really just helps me maximize my pronunciation score in my, helps you maximize your pronunciation scores in your IELTS exam as well. Other things I really liked when he did the second part of the IELTS exam, it was really nicely structured. So he started off by telling us what he was going to talk about and then introduce the name of the singer. Then he kind of elaborated on that, gave some examples, expressed his own sort of response to that music, and then he closed it with a simple statement. I think I got it down. Yeah, he said something like, so I think for these reasons people admire him a lot.
Yes.
So tight structure there, nice one.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see how he did.
Yeah, sure.
Anzui, how would you score yourself after that performance?
I think about 6.5 maybe, but I wish 7. Yeah.
So if you can do it again, Anzui, if you can do it again, what would you do differently?
I think I will organize it better in a logical way because I need to have the beginning and then the main points and then the conclusions. But in the exam today, I just say what I want because at that time I think that way and I said to the examiner, I did not organize very well.
So what can he do better in this situation?
Yeah, I guess when we look at how to make improvements when we're already pretty fluent in English, like how exciting to see someone communicating at that level in their second language, it's often about tightening up small things. So I would say make a mental note about what you're talking about. Is it the past, the present, or the future? And make sure you're making the switch there with your verb tenses. Also, when we look at Vietnamese and English, they got really different histories, and the way that we make the sounds, the way that we make the rhythm, it's really different. So also think about the way that we use strong and weak, both in words and in sentences in English. For example, with the multi-syllable words like passionate, we put an emphasis on the first one, passionate. Yeah.
All right, Anzui, we'd love to have you back again, so please come back, and then you're going to perform another round of the IELTS test for us, okay? And we're probably going to see him again one more time. Yes.